High school sports postseason is upon us. The city basketball championships are just around the corner, and with the new playoff format, including 6 total teams, the opening round of the city playoffs will happen at the end of this week. But to kick off the city's winter sports postseason, we turn back to last Wednesday at the Reggie Lewis Center in Roxbury, where the Boston City League held their 2018 Indoor Track City Championship. So let's head out to the Reggie in Roxbury. And first up, it's the girls 600 meters as Snowdon's Marissa Moffitt was able to finish that one off for the first place in that event. Boys 1 mile run, it's O'Brien's Sam Dykins with the first place finish there. He would capture it for the O'Brien Tigers. Then later on, it's the boys 1,000 meters. And Victor Baez out of Charlestown. He finishes by himself there for first place for the Charlestown Townies. We're going to move on to the boys high jump. And a couple of guys took it down to the wire. Charlestown with a great effort, but it ended up being Pedro Decius from Madison Park who took home the gold in the boys high jump. Then after that, it was the girls high jump, and O'Brien's Teresa Pirod blew away the field. She took home first place for the O'Brien Lady Tigers in that one. Now we head to the relays. For the boys, first up, it was the 4x200 relay. Brandon Ortega from East Boston finishing it off strong for the East Boston Jets. They take the boys 4x200 relay. Then it was the girls 4x200 relay. Same story as East Boston once again would take it home for the first place finish there in the girls 4x200 relay. Then it was the boys 4x400 relay. That's 2 laps around the track. And it was Victor Baez once again running strong. He finishes it off for the boys Charlestown 4x400 relay team. They take home first place. Then on the girls' side, to finish off the night, it was the girls 4x400 relay. A really good race here, but it was Courtney Lambright from O'Brien finishing it off for the Lady Tigers as they take home first place in the girls 4x400. Then we have the awards. It's Joe Lara of Snowdon and Courtney Lambright of O'Brien. They win the Athlete of the Meet, best runner or thrower in the meet. And then Athletes of the Year, it's Laura again. He didn't have to go very far, and that's Fenway Sarah Lawton who won it for the girls' side, Athlete of the Year. Then for the team trophies, it was the O'Brien Lady Tigers who took home the team first place in the 2018 Indoor Track City Championship. And then on the boys' side, it was the East Boston Jets who were the top team in 2018. They finish off an undefeated season. Always a fun afternoon over at the Reggie. Several of those teams and athletes will be competing in the upcoming state tournament. Now to the basketball court. With the new playoff format that I mentioned earlier, several teams came into last week with a chance to earn a city playoff spot. On the boys' side, the Brighton Bengals needed to beat Charlestown on Wednesday to secure a city postseason position. Meanwhile, Charlestown needed to beat Brighton on Wednesday to merely stay in the running. Let's head out to Brighton High School as these two teams squared off on Wednesday night. Bengals taking on the Charlestown Townies. That's LaQ Howard, the point guard for Brighton. He got his team going early. We're going to pick it up in the third quarter here as Howard finds Gerard Clark for the elbow jumper. That extends Brighton's lead to double digits. Later on in the third quarter, it's Johnny Ortiz knocking down the pull-up 3. That puts Brighton up 61-49 in the third quarter. A couple of possessions later, Clark still going to work. Gets the putback right there for the Bengals, gives them a 20-point lead in the third quarter. Fast forward to the fourth now. Charlestown trying to keep it close as Jason Resende with the pull-up jumper cuts the Bengals lead down to 17. Then later on the fourth, Franklin Uday with a strong finish. He had over 30 points for the Charlestown Townies, but the Bengals were just too tough on this night. Gerard Clark off the spin move, gets it to go, puts Brighton back up by 20. Then it's Johnny Ortiz again, this time with the floater in the lane as the Bengals went on to win 99-79 over Charlestown. Let's take a look at the rest of the scores from last week. This is girls basketball scores from Thursday as Madison Park took down Boston English 53-31. Coleman with 18 points and 10 rebounds for the Madison Park Cardinals. West Roxbury lost to Jeremiah Burke 48-38. Johnson with 19 points for the Burke Lady Bulldogs. On Friday, these are a girls' score. First Tech Boston loses to Latin Academy 80-14. Fiona Mannion had 18 points for the Latin Academy Lady Dragons. Then on the boys' side, it was the Tech Boston Bears defeating Latin Academy 73-58. Walter Duhollins with 37 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks for Tech Boston. So it looks like the Bengals will be heading back to the city playoffs once again this season. More good news for Brighton Athletics, as last week marked National Signing Day for high school football players, and Brighton running back and strong safety Jose Vargas verbally committed to play football for Tabor College out in Kansas. Vargas finished the 2017 season with 6 rushing and 1 receiving touchdowns for the Brighton Bengals, in addition to being the team's leading tackler. It is expected that Vargas will play defensive back for the Tabor Blue Jays when he heads down there in the fall. So congratulations to Jose Vargas and the Brighton Bengals for another college commitment. That's going to do it for sports this week, folks. Be sure to come right back here next week for more on Boston Neighborhood Sports.